I'm Will Conk from Oakley's product development team, and today we're gonna do pro tips on changing your lenses. Here in front of us, we have 4 different types of frames, which all have different ways interchanging or removing the lenses, from least complex all the way to most complex. So we're gonna go through each of these step by step so you feel confident you can change the lenses in any frame. You'll see that I'm wearing gloves. They're actually made of the microfiber cloth that every single frame comes with. You don't need to interchange your lenses with these gloves. I'm using them so I don't get fingerprints on them. You can feel free to use your bare hands. As soon as you're done though, you want to wipe them off with the microfiber cloth to get all the fingerprints off. One more cool thing about the microfiber cloth, you can wash this. You can wash this as much as you need if it starts getting dirty, and that'll actually allow you to clean your lenses more often without leaving an extra film on them when you're done. So feel free to wash this as much as you want. For full rim twin lens frames, this is split shot is a good example. Other examples would be turbine, Holbrook, gas can, fuel cell. All of these frames actually have the same system for removing the lenses and interchanging them. So with split shot, it's actually very easy. You have to start from the inside of the frame. There's a backstop built into the frame for impact protection, and that's why you cannot push the lens in. You have to push it from inwards out. Really easy, use your thumbs and push, and the lens comes right out. That easy. Now to install the lens back into the frame. The first thing to recognize is these frames are actually very durable, and you can push really hard to get this lens back in. You're not gonna break anything, I promise you. The first thing is to line up the lens groove. So all you gotta do is drop the lens in. You'll see there's probably gonna be a little bit of gap on the bottom. The next step is to push it in all the way until you hear it snap. I promise you did not break anything, it's in perfect condition. So semi-rim frames are actually a little bit more complicated. There's hooks built into the lens that will come in right here, and basically you have to release those hooks in order to take the lens out. So the way that we like to do it, to actually try to spread the frame open, and again, this is a very strong frame. You can put quite a bit of pressure on it until you feel the lens release. Hold it like this, open it up until you feel the hook release. If you take a look at the lens, you can see the hooks on either side. That's what holds it in place. That's what allows for impact protection. So now putting it back in, the way that this is designed, the outside hook needs to go in first because there's a little bit more flexibility in the frame for you to open it up and install the inside hook. And the inside hook, if you can see, is a little bit bigger. And again, that is for impact protection. The way we like to do it is start into the lens groove. You'll find a little hole for the hook to go into, slide it up. So now it's about halfway in, and this is where you gotta open the frame up again and push it in. Again, this is a very durable frame. You're not gonna break it. You can put a decent amount of pressure on it and then push it in until you feel it click. There, it's back in place. Perfect, safe. Now you're ready to clean it off. This semi-rim frame is Mercenary. Other frames like this are Flak 2.0 or Half Jacket 2.0. They all have the same system with the hooks on the inside and the outside, so it's the same process to interchange. This is Radar EV, a semi-rim shield. This one stands alone in the process for interchanging a lens, and it's a little bit different from what we had in the past with Radar Lock. Radar Lock had a bunch of springs and mechanisms to make it easy, and to be honest, this is just as easy, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. The first thing you need to do is release the nose area, and that will kind of release all the impact protection pressure. So you can push in, and again, you can put quite a bit of pressure on this. I like to squeeze it in and push, and you can feel it release. You can hear the click. What I like to do is actually pull the lens down, and you'll feel it just release from the hooks. So apply a little bit of pressure, and you'll feel it release. What a lot of customers like to do now with Radar EV is to interchange the lens from the one that they purchased the frame with into typically a clear or a photochromic. So now that we've removed our road lens, we're gonna put in a photochromic lens, and this is ideal if you're gonna start a ride first thing in the morning while it's still dark out. So the process is the same. These lenses are all cut the same way. The hooks on the edges need to be installed first for the lens to go back into the frame. So start with one side. You can feel it pop into the lens groove and push it all the way in. You can flex the lens a little bit, put it into the second hook, and push it in as far as you can and make sure it's all the way in there. The next step is to get on the bridge there's a little spot right here that needs to get snapped in, and you'll kind of feel it snap in. So apply a little bit of pressure and get that in there. So there you hear it. And then the next is the nose needs to go on. In this case, the nose automatically went on, and that happens all the time. Sometimes it doesn't go all the way in, and you just gotta push it in. So the unique thing about Flight Jacket is the way that it's designed with no brow, which is something that we don't normally do, but this was built for cycling, and one of the most important things in cycling is upper field of view, and we wanted that to be completely unimpeded. So in order to keep the retention of the frame, we have all of the structure built into the bottom. So the process for this is a little bit more difficult than others. You can apply a lot of pressure, it's a lot of pulling and a lot of pushing, but you're not gonna break the frame. Again, it's very, very strong. So the frame is built with a series of hooks. There's 2 hooks here in the nasal area and 2 hooks here in the lug that hold the lens in place and keep impact protection to our standards. The first thing you need to do, release the bottom hooks. Now, usually taking this lens out is a little bit easier than putting it back in. Once you release the hooks, the frame kind of opens up and you can pull it out. So the hooks are right in this zone. Hold one side on the bottom and then hold the top of the lens. And make sure your finger is right here where this hook is in this zone. And all you gotta do is pull and you'll feel it release. And it comes right out. Installing a new lens into your frame, the process is similar as in applying the hooks. You gotta do it in reverse order now. The first thing you need to do is get the side hooks into the frame first, one side at a time. Plop it in on one side, spread the frame open a little bit, and get the hook in on the other side. Once you have the outside hooks in the frame, the next step is to find the lens groove on the bottom and start applying some pressure to get that in. Do this before you get the inside hooks in place. This kind of sets it up for you before you apply the pressure to get those inside hooks in. Once the lens has found the most of the lens groove across the frame and in the nose area, now your hooks are resting right in place. So the next step is to apply quite a bit of pressure from the top of the lens down into the frame until you feel it click in. And those are some tips on how to change your lenses.